Professor, His Excellency, thank you very much for this opportunity for us to meet again and to share some of our stories. And especially thank you to His Excellency and all the other team members of the embassy, because a couple of years ago when we welcomed the ambassador, or when he invited us to welcome him, his question was every time, it's important for me to be networking with your network. Not only that I come to visit you, but you also need to come to visit me. And he said to us that you need to remember that the embassy is your first house. And I want also your house to be also our embassy. So, His Excellency, my life in the UK means wealth. And most of the time when people ask me, where are you from? First I start, I come from Newport, and then I start changing, because it's in Welsh that I really grew up. Most of my friends in Welsh, they say that everything and everyone, even the ducks and the cows of Welsh, they know me and I know them. So thank you very much. So why Welsh? I think when we came in this country, not only that living in London wasn't easy to live here, but we found welcome people and a welcome country. We were lucky, because when we came in England, they was talking about the integration. In Welsh, we learn about inclusion. And what they did for us, they said, look, you didn't come in this country with empty hands. So let us share what you brought in this country and then learn also what we can offer to you. And so they really welcome us in this country, and it's become really our second country. I will share some story about the latest research I did about Edmund Morel, and why this research. The research is the outcome of this project. We got many meetings in Welsh, especially around the Black History Month. And we discovered that there is a kind of history narrative divide. You know, since most of African countries became independent in 1960s, and when our independence fathers, they set up the organization of the African United Organization, which become now the African Union. They set up the principle known as the intangibility of the colonial borders. It means we could not change the borders inherited from the colonization, which is a good thing, because the experience we made with the Sudan is a really a chaotic experience. We divided the Sudan, and both Sudan, they don't have a peace till now. And I know the experience of Somali, till now, almost 40 years now, there is no peace there. So, but there is something we learn here in Welsh, that we need to work to stop or to bridge the narrative divide. When you are from a former British colony, you will learn only stories from British colony. So, for example, when we came in this country, we were surprised to learn about the Heart of Darkness. Oh, the Heart of Darkness is a famous book which is related to the Congo, but we never read this book in the Congo. So, and the way to bridge those narrative divides is most of the time to revisit some famous stories. And there is an example in Slavery Museum in Liverpool. where they got in what they call the Black Achiever Hall, when you have all the Black famous persons. And especially for the Congo DRC, we were not part of the British Empire. So you will not listen about the Congo history in this side. And we got also another opportunities, the Black Lives Matter, since a couple of years now. They help us really to start digging about our past, but there is some question mark because there is a risk for us to jump on very quick conclusion. I did a research in Bristol after when they knocked down the monument of Colston. I was surprising that I met only 3 people who knew about Colston before. And I wait after almost 1 month. I said, probably those people will try to dig more. Unfortunately, none of them tried to dig about Colston. And so there is a danger if we are not digging about the past. Not only that, we will avoid to learn about the past, but we could make also a mistake, and I will refer to this debate we have in Welsh about Henry Morton Stanley. And so where really people wanted to kick off his monument, and we need to participate to explain there is another part of the narrative. Why we need to do it. And I think it's important for us, when we came in this country, something we learned since the first days, everyone will say, Welsh is just a small country. But these small countries produce famous people around the world connected with the Congolese history. Not only Henry Morton Stanley, you mentioned about Reverend Hughes and the Congo Institute in Colwyn Bay. This institute is very, very important because it was the first time that the Pan-Africanism was experienced. It was in Welsh. And we could remember what we learned when we welcomed here the Archbishop, the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He told us how really he started the anti-apartheid movement from Welsh. So Welsh is not really, as we say it every time, a very small country. It's a country that can make a difference. And especially who can carry on the Congolese narrative. Even if Congo wasn't a British Empire, there are many connections between Welsh and the Congo. And the character I will explain today, the Congo Reform Association was in fact founded in this small village on north of Welsh in Arden. So it was in Arden that Roger Kessman came to visit Edmund Morel, convinced him to create the Congo Reform Association. And it's important. Why? Because come back to what I told about the Black Lives Matter movement, there is a danger for us to think that all the white people who went in Africa were bad people. And we can reverse also, you know, the narrative we are now listening about the far-right extremists, thinking that all the foreign who came in these countries are bad people. So we need to reverse those kind of narrative by telling stories of people who made a positive contribution, not only yesterday, but those days. You know, it's interesting when we get in the building to see 100 years of peace, the pictures of people who contributed to the peace, and you can see how really divided them. So this book and this project is just on that same pathway. And so not only that, we discover, we learn the story of Henry Morton Stanley, who is almost the maker of the modern Congo. The Congo was there, but it was him who designed the first Congo map. And the research I did shows the map you can see there. So we have in all those cities, you can see the cities connected to the Congolese history. And so all those cities, so any cities, so in Welsh, for example, we have not only Colwyn Bay, we have Ndolamb, where I was born, remote and Stanley, but we have also Swansea, because when we have the copper company, the Congolese copper company in Katanga, most of people who work, they came from Swansea. So, and all those connections need to be learned. If you go, for example, in Belfast, that's and I will tell the story. The Belfast is connected to Congo because it was in Belfast that Dunlop invented the pneumatic tires, and because the pneumatic tire they need the rubber, so Belfast is connected to the Congolese history. And in Scotland, not only we have a Dr. Livingstone who live there, but if you check in London, for example, in the right side, you have London there, many connections with the Congolese history. So the aim of the project is to tell all those stories, to create what we call the Congo UK Task Force history, so that people need to carry on those history to show that a century ago we were really together. And there is also an online map. If you click on those city, you will see the pictures and the stories behind. So the outcome, the second outcome of this project, so we have the map, but we have all those two books where you find the stories connected really with the Congo and the UK. And there is also something we learn in this country. We got the culture of plaque. So we are now trying to design the plaque so that all those plaques will be sent to all those mentioned sites. You know, if you check, for example, on left side, can you imagine that Cardiff is connected to the Congo? Because if you go in the Cardiff Museum, you will see there is a buste there of Bokani. Bokani is in 1905. There was 6 pygmy from Congo brought in the UK. And a Welsh artist decided to make this buste of the elder of them. So Edmund Morel, of course, but our embassy will be also a kind of a cluster of this shared history, because we need, when we try to revisit history, we will not just stuck there on history. We need to update it. So we need to check what are the opportunities now for the new Congo, for the new Welsh, for the new UK. For example, Leopold Stanley is well known in Congo because he says that without a railway in Congo, that is worth a penny. But we need now new railways in Congo. And why not connect with Welsh so that some people can invest in the railway? I just read the ambassador shared with us 2 days ago, the letter from the Minister of Transport requesting new investor for the railway. So we have many opportunities. Universities also. I just share a story. The ambassador contacted us and say, look, the Minister of Education wanted to visit the UK, especially the university, so that we can make some links. So those are the opportunities, and the embassy and the ambassador are willing to work on it. Why I'm talking about a plaque? I think you told us that we are now a new pope. We have now a new pope.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a big day today. But what is interesting, the late Pope Francis was buried in the Saint Mary Major Cathedral in Rome. But you know the interesting side of we got also the Congolese ambassador buried in the same cathedral. And that was the first Black ambassador in the Holy See in 1968. Can you imagine? So he was sent by the Congolese king, and he arrived 3 days after he died. So he was buried in that same basilica. So if you go to Roma to visit the tomb of Pope Francis, try to check in the other side. There is also the tomb of the Congolese. So it's important for us to install those maps, because the maps are helping to mark history. Let me quickly bring you through the stories you will find in those books. Those books are especially about the King Leopold II atrocities in Congo. And the guy who fought against King Leopold II is Edmund Morel. But there were also other people who joined him, especially the Irish Roger Kessman, who was the first British consul in the Congo, who investigated about the Edmund Morel allegations. In fact, Edmund Morel, who was based in North Wales, was working for Liverpool company, contracted with King Leopold II. So, as a journalist, when he was traveling from Liverpool to Belgium, it was surprising to see that all the ships were going in Congo were full of weapons of mercenaries, and those from Congo was bringing resource. And when he started recording stories from a missionary, he learned that there was a genocide in the other side of Congo. So he decided to resign from his job. And then Roger Kessman, when he came back from the Congo, he came to join him. They said, you need to create an organization to fight for the Congolese people. So in 1904, he founded in Liverpool this organization called the Congo Reform Association. And so the Congo Reform Association fought really against King Leopold II till they won these battles. But it's important for us also to remind something important about the Congo. Congo seems to be a kind of the carrefour of world change history. So every time when the world is changing, the Congo got a kind of connection with this change of the world.
We say crossroads.
Yeah, crossroads. Not only that, when we are talking about the slave trade started in Congo, because after in 1482, when the Portuguese Diogo Cao came, and then he made the first connection between Congo and Europe, the Congo Kingdom became the Catholic kingdom. They changed the name of the cities, they changed the Congolese names, and the Congolese king believed to be the friend of the Congolese of the king of Portugal. Unfortunately, after just some years, the same people who brought the Bible came with the slave trade. So the king was so shocked. So what he did really, this is why he sent this ambassador to the Holy See, so that he can explain to the Pope what was happening in the Congo. Unfortunately, the guy died 3 days when he arrived. So when we are talking about the explorations of the Africa, the story of explorations of Africa changed with the exploration of Congo, when Henri Morton Stanley did his 3-year trip from Zanzibar to Boma. So it changed the narrative of explorations. And this brought us also to the Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference 1884-1885 was set up also about the Congo, because the Western power started almost fighting, for the Congo. So the German Chancellor decided to organize this conference so that people can talk instead of fighting. And when they did the conference, they offered the big Congo to an individual, King Leopold II. And when King Leopold II got the Congo, Dunlop from Belfast by last time invented this pneumatic tire. Again, they needed the natural resource. And the Congo was full of the natural rubber. So King Leopold II became the richest king of the world with the Congolese rubber. And almost 10,000 Congolese died. During the First and the Second War, Congo played also a big part, contributed to the end of the war. Not only that, Congolese minerals were used to buy weapons, but for the Americans to make the first atomic bomb, they used Congolese uranium. But they paid the Belgian Congolese, they didn't receive any money from the USA. And now, since 1990s, we have the development of the laptops and the mobile phone. So the mineral everyone needs is the coltan. Again, coltan is from the Congo. So, and everyone is talking now about the climate change. But one of the biggest reserve of the ecosystem is again the Congo. So I think it's important for us to learn what Edmund Morel did, because when he realized that Congolese people and Congolese resources were used for the development of the world and that Congolese people were died, he created these organizations to raise awareness about the Congolese killing and suffering. So you got there some pictures that can show you how really King Leopold II was exploiting the Congo. And on the left side, Edmund Morel did a very big rally in London in 1909. So I think all those soft power, because he didn't use any weapon to knock down King Leopold II, Edmund Morel. What he did, he campaigned, he wrote books, he published a magazine, till King Leopold II decided to leave the Congo and to give the Congo to Belgium. And all those stories are in this book, and you will find also in this book some important historic document. This is the document when King Leopold II gave the Congo to the Belgium. And there was no Congolese person who was there when he gave the Congo to the Belgium. So this is the map for the big Congo. This is the first map designed by Henri Morton Stanley, bought by a collectioner from Japan. This is the first Congolese act of independence. What is interesting in this act of independence? So this is the official document, but in Congo, we don't have a copy of this document. There is it was signed by the two first ministers of Congo and Belgium. If you can check how really the Prime Minister of Belgium signed, he didn't leave the place to the Congolese Prime Minister to sign. So it seems that he was very, very angry about his speech. This is one of the famous pictures of the Congo atrocities by a British missionary. You can see this guy got the hand of his son cut by King Leopold II agent. You have also some interesting stories in this book. This is some pictures the day before the independence. Someone decided to see King Leopold II, King Baudouin, son, and those pictures, it helped just to show a kind of relationship built between Belgium and the Congo. And the picture, because the question in the beginning, why really British needs to interest to the Congolese history or Congolese ongoing matters, because Congo were not part of a British Empire. Yeah, but you got British hand in the Congolese atrocities and crisis. Not only that, as I said, Dunlop, who invented the pneumatic tire, is a British, but during the independence of the Congo, the lady there was the MI6 agent in the DR Congo. And she said before dying that she got also a plan of assassination of Patrice Lumumba. So there was a kind of connections between UK and the Congo. And because we got now ongoing Congo war, it's important for us also to start questioning about some narrative And in the book, I try, for example, with some research to show there's a narrative from Rwanda government to say that in history, they lost their land to the Congo. No, it's the opposite. So it's the Congo who lost some of its land left to the, so when the king, so in the black is the first King Leopold II, the border. You can see that he went to the Rwanda, but now in the left you have a new border. So it's the Congo who lost some land for the Rwanda. And there's a big question because in the book, the title is Tools Against the Ongoing DRC Holocaust. The word is a very big word. And we are talking about the genocide, we are talking about the Holocaust, but we just is one of the writer, the latest one who is trying to investigate about the now ongoing Congolese war, and use this title of the Holocaust. So, because the suffering of the Congolese people are still continuing, probably we need to work and to learn from what Edmund Morel did, and then we could contribute to stop the suffering of Congolese people. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. I think we're just now stopping the recording so that what you said next.
I feel at home here because I have spent 30 years of my life with the UN in 9 countries. So this is my family. So I am so pleased to meet all of you. But let me first of all to thank Norbert for his wonderful presentation of Edmund Morel. This is somebody who was an accountant. He was an accountant in Anvers, in Belgium. And he noted that the ships coming from DRC and the ships going to DRC were not carrying the same things. This led him to begin his investigation. And from that, he came back to England and he started this association, mobilizing the world. Many people don't know, but even Einstein supported that movement against King Leopold. Even Einstein did that. So, Norbert, thank you so much for your book. As I was saying, yeah. The UN is my family. But strangely enough, I got in the UN by accident. My professor of public health just fell sick. He had a contract with UNICEF, and he wanted some of his graduate students to present the results of his investigation to New York. So he happened to choose me. So this is how I got into the UN, just by chance. So in other words, life is very strange. We just spoke about somebody who alone, by being able to mobilize other people, made history. The fight against King Leopold was not something simple, yet he made it. And he was an accountant. He was an accountant in Anvers. But today, I want to talk about something else. We are in the temple of peace. So I'm going to talk about peace. I have to talk about the peace because what is happening in our country now is very tragic and very dramatic. The humanitarian cost in itself speaks volumes. More than 7 million people displaced, internally displaced in DRC. And this is not the government, Congolese government figures. This is the UN figures. This is the UN saying that because they have verified. There have been atrocities. There have been rapes. So the situation is not good. More than 2,400 schools closed. So when you look at health, you look at education, you look at water and sanitation, the situation is not good at all. It is not good at all. Thank God, everybody has realized that this cannot continue. It cannot continue. So people are trying to learn lessons from the past. What happened when the M23 was defeated? It happened for three propositions. First of all, it was diplomatic pressure. The whole world began to put pressure on M23 and on Rwanda to stop its support. But the second approach was the military action. The UN, through the MONUSCO, which is the UN mission in DRC, was allowed to use force against the rebels. And the third, of course, it was the financial regulation. Mm-hmm. When you impose the sanctions, financial sanctions, it makes a difference. So those are the lessons learned from what happened 10 years ago.
So the M33 was a rebel army.
Yes, it is the same. It is the same which came back now. So the situation now is that the same recipes of financial sanctions, political pressures, military actions are being used again now. And this is beginning to make a difference. But I must insist very briefly before opening the floor for discussion that there has been a very important diplomatic action from the Congolese government, but also from our partners and allies. Example, for the first time, the UK named Rwanda as being a part of the problem. For the first time, the UN resolution was very specific in saying that Rwanda must withdraw from DRC, etc. And then we have the European Union. And so this is a new momentum. This definitely is a new momentum. So this is why we are saying that we are now on the pathway to peace. This morning, I was at Westminster Abbey because it was the 80th anniversary of the DV event. We talked about peace. The king and the queen were there, and the issue was peace again. And it is not by chance that we are here in the Temple of Peace. You know what happened? At the end of the ceremony, I saw somebody at the end of the bus where they were taking us to where our cars were. It was the ambassador of Rwanda. He came to me and he said, "My brother, how are you? If you go to Congo today or to Kigali today, everybody wants peace. We want peace." And I would not like to bore you with more details, but I think this can come in the discussion. Thank you so much.